Hello friends. Tonight let's take a quiet, gentle walk. Quickly get your bed ready, turn off the lights, and start listening to this soothing story. At the edge of a small village stood a tiny little house. In that house lived a boy named Aruf. During the day, he would play, run around, chase birds, and try to catch butterflies in the fields. But as soon as the sun set and the sky turned a deep shade of blue, Aruf's eyes would drift upwards. His heart was deeply connected to the stars in the sky, especially the moon. He believed the moon was his friend, coming to meet him every night. The first star of the evening twinkled softly in the sky. A gentle breeze floated by. The sounds of the village slowly quieted down. Aruf sat in his courtyard and whispered, "Moon Uncle, please come quickly tonight. I have so many things to talk to you about." Gradually, as if it had heard his call, the moon began to peek over the horizon. Its soft, white light seemed to flow straight into Aruf's heart. Aruf smiled. "You're here? I've been waiting for you." He spoke softly. "Today was such a long day. I played so much that my legs are tired. But when I see you, all my weariness disappears. How do you give me so much peace, Moon Uncle?" The moon stayed silent, yet its glow grew even brighter. It felt as if someone had gently placed a hand on his head and said, "Rest now, child. Everything is okay." Aruf took a deep breath. "I wish I could fly up to you, sit in your lap, and listen to stories all night long. Here on the ground, there's always noise, sometimes worry. But you are always calm. How do you do that?" The breeze brushed his hair. The nearby stream murmured softly, and the stars seemed to wink at him, as if saying, "This is the magic of the moon." Aruf closed his eyes. He felt as though a soft, gentle circle of sleep was slowly wrapping around him. The night had grown deep. Everything around was silent. The lamps in the village houses had long gone out, and even the distant barking of dogs had faded away. There was nothing but the sky, filled with stars, and in the middle, a glowing, round moon. Aruf lay in the courtyard, staring up at the moon. Suddenly, his eyes lit up. It felt as if the moonlight was slowly turning into stairs. Silvery steps were descending from the sky, reaching straight into his courtyard. Aruf gasped, then smiled. "Are these for me, Moon Uncle?" The moon seemed to shine even brighter. Slowly, Aruf stood up and began to climb the stairs. With every step, it felt as though a gentle, cool breeze was caressing his feet. When he reached the top, he saw the moon was standing there, reaching out a hand toward him. "Come, Aruf," the moon said softly. "Tonight, come with me to my home." As soon as Aruf held the moon's hand, he was transported to a new world. There, the ground was covered with soft, silvery grass, tickling his feet as he walked. The leaves on the trees glowed white, as if each leaf had been made from a tiny star. A wide river flowed nearby, but its water wasn't blue. It was creamy, almost like milk. The river's gentle ripples moved so slowly that they seemed to sing a soft lullaby. Aruf looked around in wonder. "Moon Uncle, everything here is so beautiful. Why is it so quiet here?" The moon smiled. "This is my garden, my dear child. Here, only peace exists. On Earth, people get tired, worried, and restless. But when they see me, even for a moment, they feel calm. You have come here, so you will feel this peace even more deeply." Aruf sat down on the soft grass and closed his eyes. He felt as if all his tiredness, all his worries, were slowly melting away, flowing gently into the creamy river. The moon clapped its hands softly. Immediately, tiny little stars appeared all around. They were like playful children, jumping, twirling, and smiling. Aruf laughed. "Oh, how cute they are." The stars began to circle around him, forming a perfect ring. Then, all together, they started to sing. Their voices were very soft, yet full of magic. The lullaby went something like this. "Sleep now, forget your tiredness. Close your eyes. The world of dreams is waiting for you." Sleep began to settle on Aruf's eyelids. He rested his head on the soft grass and whispered, "I wish every child could hear this lullaby." The moon replied gently, "Everyone can hear it, my dear. They only need to calm their hearts and lift their eyes to the moon." Slowly, Aruf drifted into sleep. The stars stood guard around him, and the moonlight became his soft blanket. When Aruf opened his eyes, he found himself by the side of a river. The water shimmered as if thousands of tiny stars had dissolved within it. The waves moved so gently, so softly, that it felt like they were gently patting his tired mind. He leaned closer to the water to look. As he gazed, he began to see his own dreams reflected there. Sometimes he saw himself flying in the sky, sometimes playing in a valley full of flowers, sometimes seeing stars land on his palm and smile at him. Arav said in wonder, "Moon Uncle, what kind of river is this?" The moon replied softly, "This is the river of dreams. When you let go of your worries, your dreams flow into this river. This is where you receive the dreams that bring you peace and joy." Arav laid down by the riverbank, listening to the soft, gentle waves. His breaths became slow and deep. He felt sleep grow even heavier on his eyelids, wrapping him in calm and quiet. Arav woke up with a light, sleepy blink and moved forward. Ahead of him was a garden, but this garden was unlike any on earth. Here, the flowers shimmered like silver and gold, and on each flower, a butterfly rested. But these butterflies were not ordinary. Their wings sparkled as if someone had turned colorful stars into delicate wings. Arav reached out his hand, and a butterfly gently landed on his palm. As it fluttered its wings, a soft fragrance filled the air. The scent was so sweet that Arav's eyelids grew even heavier. The moon explained, "These butterflies are the messengers of sleep. When a child grows tired, they fly close and, with the fragrance of their wings, guide the child into a deep, peaceful sleep." Arav smiled. "So, will these butterflies come to me too when I go back to Earth?" The moon nodded. "Yes, my dear. If your heart is calm and your eyes are closed, these butterflies will surely find you." Arav wandered through the garden, taking deep, gentle breaths. With every breath, he felt the weight on his heart grow lighter and lighter. A little further ahead, Arav saw something truly wonderful. Between two large silver trees hung a swing. But this swing was not made of rope. It was woven entirely from starlight. The swing swayed slowly in the soft breeze. Arav asked in wonder, "Can I sit on it?" The moon smiled and nodded. "Yes, my dear. This swing is for children who, as they drift into sleep, allow themselves to fully relax." Arav sat down on the swing. As he leaned back, the starlight surrounded him. It felt as if the entire sky was cradling him, gently rocking him to and fro. The stars began to hum softly. "Sleep now, rest. Let go of every worry. The world of dreams is waiting for you." Arav's eyelids grew heavy. Every gentle sway of the swing carried him closer and closer to deep, peaceful sleep. He thought to himself, if people on Earth could sit on this swing, maybe no one would ever have trouble sleeping again. When Arav opened his eyes, he found himself in a peaceful forest. But this forest was unlike any on Earth. The trees shimmered in silver light, their branches swaying slowly, as if singing a soft, quiet song with the wind. The leaves whispered softly, "Rustle, rustle." The sound was so gentle that it immediately filled his heart with calm. From afar, he could hear the sweet tune of crickets. Arav thought to himself, "This must be the forest of sleep. Just stepping here makes the mind peaceful." He walked to a large tree and tried to sit beneath it. As his back touched the trunk, he felt the roots slowly drawing away all the restlessness from his heart. The moon's voice whispered, "My child, this forest is for everyone who cannot sleep. If they imagine themselves sitting here, their eyes will gently close on their own." Arav closed his eyes. Within moments, he felt himself sinking into a deep sleep under the shade of the trees. As he left the forest, Arav saw an open meadow. Soft grass spread across the field, and moonlight scattered over it like silver dust. Arav lay down on the grass. The moonlight gently covered him, so cool and soft that it felt like a blanket of clouds. Arav whispered, "Moon Uncle, this is truly magical. It feels as if you are tucking me into your lap." The moon smiled. "Yes, my child. When people leave behind their fatigue and worries at night, my moonlight covers them. That's why many say, dreams feel even sweeter under the moonlight." Arav closed his eyes completely. The blanket of moonlight carried him deeper into sleep. His mind felt so light, it seemed as if his body was not lying on the ground, but floating on soft clouds. Slowly, his breaths became long and calm, and he drifted gently into the world of sweet dreams. Arav had a dream. In that dream, he was once again floating high in the sky. Stars were gathered all around him, but this time, the stars were not playing. They were all sitting in a perfect circle, as if holding a secret meeting. Arav asked softly, "Why are you all sitting here?" A small star twinkled and replied, "We each hold a secret that brings peace to the soul of anyone who sleeps." Curious, Urav asked, "Can I hear that secret?" The star smiled. "Yes, but remember, this secret can only be heard by those whose minds are calm." Then the stars began to whisper slowly. Their whisper was so soft that it sounded like a lullaby. The words were not clear, but their gentle magic made Urav's eyelids grow heavier and heavier. He realized something. The true secret of sleep is to let go of worries and completely calm the mind. Urav smiled and once again drifted into deep, peaceful sleep. When he opened his eyes, he found himself standing by a shimmering river. The water sparkled like silver, and soft ripples created a gentle, soothing melody with every wave. Across the river, Urav saw a large door. It looked like the entrance to the world of dreams. But to reach it, he had to cross the river. At that moment, a bridge began to form before him. The bridge was made entirely of moonlight. Each ray slowly connected to the next, and little by little, the full bridge appeared. The moon's voice spoke softly. "My child, this is the bridge of dreams. Whenever someone sleeps, their soul crosses this bridge to enter the world of dreams." Urav stepped onto the bridge. With the first step, he felt his heart lighten. With the second step, his thoughts grew calm. With the third step, the fatigue in his body melted away. And when he reached the middle of the bridge, he felt sleep wrap around his entire being, gently and completely. After crossing the bridge, Urav arrived in front of a magnificent palace. The entire palace was made of moonlight. Its walls glowed softly with a milky shimmer, and gentle light poured from its windows. As he entered the palace, he felt a cool, comforting breeze. A soft lullaby seemed to echo through the air. The floor was covered with white carpets, softer than even the clouds. Urav walked slowly into a grand hall. Thousands of stars were seated there. Each star held a tiny lamp-like glow in its hand. The moon sat upon a throne, and its smile made the entire palace shine even brighter. The moon said, "Urav, this is my royal palace. From here, I spread peace and the blanket of sleep across the world. Whenever a child thinks of me while falling asleep, my moonlight reaches their room and guides them into deep, peaceful slumber." Urav looked around in wonder. He thought to himself, if people took a moment to gaze at the moon every night, perhaps they too could sleep peacefully. Behind the palace, there was a small garden. In the center of the garden was a pond. The water was perfectly clear, but instead of ordinary waves, it carried only the gentle ripples of sleep. Urav walked closer. As soon as he touched the surface of the pond, a soft, cool wave ran through his hand and flowed gently through his entire body. The wave made his eyelids heavy. His breaths became slower and deeper. His heart filled with a strange, calming peace. The moon explained, "This is the pond of sleep. When someone is very tired and cannot fall asleep, just imagine sitting by this pond. Their fatigue will melt into the water, and sleep will come naturally." Urav sat by the edge of the pond. He closed his eyes and felt as if all his thoughts were flowing away in the ripples of the water. Slowly, his mind emptied completely. All that remained was calm and the deep, gentle embrace of sleep. Moving forward from the pond of sleep, Urav arrived in front of a mysterious cave. Gleaming vines hung over the entrance, shimmering softly in the moonlight. As he stepped inside, a sweet melody began to play from within. The tune was like a mother's lullaby, slow, gentle, and deeply soothing to the heart. Urav listened carefully. Each note slowed his heartbeat. Every rhythm made his breaths deeper and calmer. Tiny stars were embedded in the walls of the cave, twinkling and dimming along with the music. It felt as if the entire cave was breathing softly. The moon's voice whispered, "This is the cave of lullabies." When a child falls asleep while listening to a lullaby in their mother's arms, their soul comes here to rest and feel calm. Urav smiled. "Moon Uncle, if everyone could hear a sweet tune before sleeping, sleep would come even faster." The cave seemed to respond to him. The melody deepened, wrapping him in a warm, soothing embrace. And Urav felt sleep drawing even closer. Exiting the cave, Urav entered a magical garden. This garden was no ordinary garden. From every flower, dreams gently flowed. From one flower, colorful butterflies emerged. From another, laughing clouds floated skyward. From a third, Tiny paper airplanes drifted into the air, soaring toward the heavens. Arav touched one flower, and a dream emerged, a golden boat, carrying him across a calm, peaceful sea. The moon's voice spoke again. This is the garden of dreams. When people sleep, their dreams are born from these flowers. Some dreams are sweet, some a little strange, but every dream brings rest to the soul. Arav found the garden so beautiful that he wished he could stay there all night. The gentle, lovely fragrance of the flowers made the effects of sleep even deeper and more peaceful. The colorful butterflies in the garden began to circle around Arav. Each butterfly shimmered in a different hue, some blue, some golden, some pink. Arav reached out and gently held one butterfly. Immediately, he heard a soft whisper in his ear. Rest a little, don't worry, sleep is the greatest medicine. Another butterfly landed on his shoulder and said, when your eyes feel heavy, don't force them open. Just close them slowly. The door to dreams will open on its own. Arav laughed softly. You really are magical butterflies. Together, the butterflies began to dance in a gentle circle. Their movement was so slow and beautiful that anyone watching would naturally feel their eyelids grow heavy. The moon said, these butterflies change the thoughts that keep sleep away. The gentle flutter of their wings soothes the mind. Arav took a deep breath. The magic of the butterflies lightened his mind. His sleep grew even deeper and sweeter. As Arav moved forward, he saw a river flowing ahead. But this was no ordinary river. It was entirely made of tiny, sparkling stars. Thousands of stars shimmered in each wave. When the waves rippled, it felt as if golden and silver curtains were falling from the sky. Arav sat at the riverbank and dipped his hand into the starry water. Instantly, hundreds of stars lit up in his palm. Their cool, gentle light flowed from his hand into his heart. The moon said, this is the river of stars. When someone grows tired from overthinking, if they imagine themselves sitting by this river, all their thoughts will flow away like stars. Arav closed his eyes. He truly felt his mind emptying. It was as if all his thoughts had drifted into the river, and he had moved even closer to deep, peaceful sleep. After crossing the river, Arav saw a very large tree standing tall. On its high branches, countless nests were built. But these were no ordinary nests. Each nest held a dream. Some held tiny dreams of a golden boat drifting to sleep, some of lush green mountains, and some of a child's laughter. Arav walked closer and touched one of the nests. A soft, gentle laughter emerged from it. The laughter was so innocent and sweet that it melted his heart. The moon explained, for every person, a dream grows in a separate nest. When they sleep, these dreams fly to them. Some dreams stay with them, and some return here with the morning light. Arav smiled. He felt as if his very own dream was growing safely in one of the nests. As he moved forward, Arav came across a serene lake. The lake was so still that the entire sky reflected perfectly in its waters. No leaf stirred, no ripple rose. Just deep, calming peace. Arav sat by the edge of the lake. He looked into the water and saw his own reflection. Moonlight shimmered on his face, and a gentle depth of sleep settled into his eyes. The moon said, this quiet lake is the mirror of the mind. When a person gazes upon it, all their worries calm down. Remember, sleep only comes when the mind is completely peaceful. Arav took a deep breath. He felt all his fatigue sinking into the lake. Only peace remained, and that peace slowly carried him into the arms of gentle sleep. As Arav moved forward from the lake, he saw a small temple nestled among the trees. Tiny golden bells hung from its eaves. When the breeze blew, they began to chime softly. Ding, ding, ding. The sound was very gentle, yet it touched the heart directly. With every chime, it felt as if the weight on his mind was lifting little by little. Arav listened carefully to the bells. Each sound seemed to whisper, rest now, it's time to sleep, everything is okay. The moon explained, these are the bells of sleep. When someone imagines them before falling asleep, their mind becomes calm. The soft, gentle sounds call sleep closer. Arav laid down on the grass, listening to the bells, and felt a heaviness settle over his eyelids. Ahead of the temple, he saw a long staircase. The staircase seemed to reach toward the sky. Each step was made of light and felt incredibly soft beneath his feet. He began climbing slowly, step by step. With the first step, his fatigue melted away. With the second, all his fears vanished. By the third, his breaths became deep and even. Each step made him calmer and more peaceful. It felt as if the staircase was carrying him straight into the world of dreams. The moon said, "These are the stairs of dreams. Those who breathe slowly and climb step by step descend gradually into deep, restful sleep." Urav smiled. As he continued climbing, he realized he had reached the very threshold of the deepest door to sleep. After climbing the staircase, Urav suddenly found himself among the clouds. There, a large swing floated gently, made entirely of soft, fluffy clouds. Urav sat down on it. The swing began to sway slowly. With each gentle sway, his breaths grew slower. With every little movement, his eyelids felt heavier. The moon watched from above, smiling, and said, "This swing is for every soul seeking peace." When someone lies down, tired and weary, sleep carries them gently into the world of dreams on this very swing. Urav closed his eyes. He felt as if his very soul was truly swaying on the swing. Slowly, he drifted deeper into restful sleep. After stepping off the cloud swing, Urav saw a long path ahead. Small lamps were placed along both sides of the path. Each flame glimmered like silver in the quiet night. Urav walked slowly along the path. Each lamp seemed to guide him, whispering softly, "Do not fear, just keep moving forward, all is calm." The flickering lights seemed to lighten his mind even more. It felt as if his thoughts were melting into the glow of the lamps. The moon said, "These lamps are symbols of hope, showing the way even in darkness. When someone imagines them, their mind brightens and is drawn gently towards sleep." Urav gazed at the lamps. Gradually, he felt as if each flame had ignited a little spark of peace within him. After walking past the path of lamps, Urav arrived at a library. But this was no ordinary library. Every book here was made of dreams. He opened one book and found the gentle waves of the sea inside. Another book carried the fragrance of flowers. A third glowed with the sparkle of stars. Urav picked up a book and began to read. As he turned each page, he felt his mind slowly calming down. Each page seemed to absorb his fatigue and worries. The moon said, "These are the books of dreams, written every night. When people sleep, their dreams are recorded in these books. Some dreams vanish with the morning light, but others remain in these books forever." Urav found this place so peaceful and beautiful that he thought, if someone reads a book like this before sleeping, their sleep would become even deeper and more restful. Leaving the library, Urav saw a grand castle ahead. Its walls were made of silvery moonlight. The door stood open, letting in a cool, gentle breeze. As he entered the castle, Urav felt as if he had stepped into another world. Inside, there was no noise, only soft, melodic echoes. Shimmering symbols adorned the walls. Symbols of peace, love, and calmness. The moon said, "This is the castle of peace. Anyone who comes here leaves all their worries behind, and in their heart, only gentle waves of sleep remain." Urav felt his heart grow light. Sleep settled deeper on his eyelids, carrying him closer and closer to a peaceful, restful slumber. Urav stepped out of the castle of peace and found shining seashells scattered along the path. They looked as if they had drifted here from the ocean itself. Each shell carried a soft sound, like the gentle whisper of waves. Urav picked up one shell and placed it to his ear. Inside, he heard a sweet melody of the sea. His mind instantly felt calm. His breaths grew deeper and slower. The moon's voice echoed softly. "These are the seashells of sleep. When a tired soul holds one close, it hears the ocean's lullaby, and that lullaby slowly carries them into a deep, restful sleep." Urav smiled. It felt as though the shell itself was whispering to him, "Rest now, everything is okay, it's time to sleep." As he walked further, Urav saw a great boat floating high in the sky. The boat was made entirely of soft clouds. A few stars sat upon it, inviting him aboard. Urav climbed into the boat. It drifted gently across the heavens. The earth below grew distant, while the sky above drew closer and closer. The air was cool and comforting. The boat rocked so slowly, like a cradle lulling a child to sleep. The moon spoke. "This cloud boat carries tired minds across the sea of dreams. Just as a ship crosses the ocean, this one carries you safely across the ocean of sleep." Urav rested his head on the boat's soft edge. The gentle rocking and cloud-like comfort made his eyelids heavy. Slowly, peacefully, he drifted deeper and deeper into sleep. After stepping off the boat, Arav saw tall mountains rising before him. From their peaks, clear and shining waterfalls flowed down. The water fell so slowly. Its sound was like a gentle lullaby. Arav walked closer and sat beneath one of the waterfalls. Cool drops of water touched his face, and each drop seemed to whisper, "Rest, let go of your worries." The moon spoke softly. "These are the lullabies of the waterfalls. When someone feels weary, they can imagine sitting here, and the music of the water will gently call sleep closer." Arav closed his eyes. The sound of the waterfalls calmed him from within, until his whole body felt loose and light. Now, escaping sleep felt impossible. Listening to the waterfall's lullaby, Arav gazed up at the sky. Countless stars twinkled above, as if they had come out just to play before bedtime. Arav began to count them. 1, 2, 3. With each number, his voice grew softer. 4, 5, 6. His breaths grew slower and deeper. The moon smiled and said, "Counting stars is an old, gentle game. Each number clears one thought from the mind, and when the counting drifts away unfinished, sleep finally arrives to complete the rest." Arav counted up to 50, but after that, his eyelids grew so heavy that he never realized when he drifted into deep, peaceful sleep. In his dream, Arav found himself inside a dark forest. The forest was deep, but it wasn't frightening, because all around him, thousands of fireflies glowed. Each firefly shone like a tiny lantern, lighting the path ahead. They flickered softly, one by one, slowly, tenderly. Arav began to follow them. The fireflies led him along a quiet trail. The air there was cool, and the earth carried a fresh, calming scent. The moon's voice whispered, "These fireflies are symbols of thoughts that bring hope even in the darkest moments. When someone looks at them, their heart fills with light, and sleep gently follows." Arav felt every trace of fear fade away. The glow of the fireflies sank deep within him, and all he could feel now was the depth of peaceful sleep. Beyond the forest of fireflies, Arav came to a great bridge. But this was no ordinary bridge. It was made entirely of music. With each step he took, a note played. Another step, another note. Soon, a gentle melody began to form, soft and flowing like a lullaby. The tune was so calm, so sweet, that Arav's mind grew still. His breathing slowed, deeper and deeper. The moon said, "This is the bridge of music. When someone listens to soft melodies before sleep, their mind crosses this bridge and enters the world of dreams." As Arav walked across, the rippling notes filled his heart. Each sound slowed his heartbeat, and by the time he reached the far end, he felt sleep embracing him, quietly, completely. After crossing the bridge of music, Arav arrived at a vast garden. The garden shimmered under the moonlight, but instead of flowers, tiny dreams bloomed upon the trees. Each blossom was unique. In one, a child's laughter sparkled. In another, gentle waves of the ocean. Some blossoms held colorful balloons that drifted softly into the night sky. Arav reached out and touched one flower. From inside, a sweet lullaby floated out, wrapping around him like a soft blanket. At once, he felt comfort and ease. The moon whispered, "This is the garden of dreams. Here, each flower blooms for someone who is searching for peace before sleep." When a person imagines their happiest dreams, their mind grows calm, and they drift gently into deep rest. As Arav wandered through the glowing garden, he realized his tiredness had grown as light as a feather. Beyond the garden, Arav saw a tall mountain. From its peak flowed a waterfall, not of water, but of silver moonlight. The radiant streams poured down, scattering across the earth like falling stars. Arav stepped closer and dipped his hands into the shining flow. At once, his hands turned cool and weightless, as if all his weariness had been washed away. The moon's voice echoed, "This is the waterfall of moonlight. To bathe in it is to release every heaviness of body and mind. Whoever imagines its touch feels their worries dissolve, and sleep comes closer, gentle and sure." Arav stood beneath the glowing cascade. The moonlit streams rained softly over him, and within moments, he felt as though he were floating, drifting slowly, peacefully, into the arms of sleep. Leaving the waterfall behind, Arav walked further along the quiet path. In the distance, a castle appeared, but it wasn't made of stone. This castle was woven entirely from starlight. Its walls shimmered, its chandeliers sparkled with twinkling stars, and the floors glowed softly, as if sprinkled with tiny lights. The moment Urav stepped inside, a deep calm settled over him. There was no noise here, only gentle radiance and stillness, like a dream wrapped in silence. The moon whispered, "This is the castle of stars. It is a place for those who carry light within their hearts before sleep. This light clears away every shadowed thought and opens the way for peaceful rest." Urav lay down in the center of the castle. Above him, thousands of stars sang their lullabies, soft and tender. With every note, he sank deeper and deeper into the arms of sleep. Stepping out of the starry castle, Urav found himself before a great lake. Its waters were utterly still, so still that the reflection of the moon looked like a perfect twin resting quietly on the surface. Urav sat down at the edge of the lake. He felt the calmness of the water sinking gently into his own heart. Each faint ripple seemed to whisper, "Slowly, gently, rest now." The moon spoke again. "This is the lake of peace. When someone longs to quiet their thoughts, they need only imagine this lake. Its still waters soothe the waves of the mind and carry the soul gently into sleep's embrace." Urav gazed into the deep, silent waters. His eyelids grew heavier with every breath. It felt as though he was floating on the surface of the lake itself, drifting slowly, effortlessly, into the dream world waiting beyond. As Urav walked past the lake, he saw a tall tree standing quietly ahead. Upon its branches sat countless birds, but these were no ordinary birds. Their feathers shimmered like gold, and from their beaks flowed the sweetest lullabies. The sound was delicate, like the whisper of the wind, blended with the gentle voice of a mother. Urav sat beneath the tree. The birds began to sing together, their songs sinking straight into his heart. The moon spoke softly. "These are the birds of lullabies. They are companions to every weary soul. The moment their voices are heard, the mind feels lighter, and sleep quietly drifts down upon the eyes." Urav closed his eyes. It felt as if the birds were singing just for him. Slowly, his breathing began to follow the tender rhythm of sleep. After the tree, Urav came to a long bridge. This bridge was woven of light and clouds. Beneath it was no river, but the vast, endless sea of sleep. Urav stepped onto the bridge. With each step, he felt his burdens fall away, as though every worry was staying behind. One by one, the air on the bridge was cool and light. It brushed gently against his face, making his eyelids heavier with every breath. The moon explained, "This is the bridge of dreams. Whoever walks across it is carried into the depths of sleep. It is the passage from the waking world into the world of dreams." Urav smiled faintly. His steps grew slower, softer, and by the time he reached the middle of the bridge, his eyes were already closing on their own. As Urav stepped beyond the bridge, he noticed shimmering wings glowing in the sky. Slowly, they drifted closer. They were the fairies of dreams. Each fairy carried a tiny lantern, casting a soft, golden glow. Their smiles were so tender that every trace of restlessness melted from Urav's heart. The fairies gathered in a circle around him. Then, in the faintest voices, they began to sing a lullaby. Their song felt like the very air itself was urging him to rest. The moon whispered, "These are the dream fairies. They come to every tired soul. They lighten the heart and carry the mind gently into the depths of sleep." Urav closed his eyes. The fairies' voices echoed softly within him. Slowly, slowly, now drift asleep. After listening to their song, Urav found himself beside a great silver swing. The swing rested gently upon soft clouds. Urav sat down upon it. It swayed back and forth, slowly, tenderly. With each motion, his breathing grew longer, calmer. Every gentle sway carried his thoughts farther away, quieting them one by one. Above him, the stars twinkled in silence, as if they were making the swing even lighter. The moon said kindly, "This silver swing is for those who wish to forget their weariness." Whenever someone closes their eyes and imagines themselves here, their soul begins to rock itself peacefully into sleep. Urav swayed softly on the swing, feeling lighter and more at ease with every breath, until it seemed he was about to drift completely into the world of dreams. Stepping down from the swing, Urav felt a soft breeze drifting all around him. But this was no ordinary breeze. Within it, a hidden music lived. The rustling of the wind was like the tune of a flute, At times it was slow, at times a little quicker, yet every note carried peace straight into his heart. Arav closed his eyes and listened closely. It felt as if the whole world had fallen asleep, and only he and this music were still awake. The moon whispered, "This is the song of the wind, when someone is weary, and simply breathes deeply while listening to the wind. This song gently carries them towards sleep." Arav was now completely calm. The song of the wind had given him such comfort that drowsiness began to settle softly upon his eyelids. After hearing the wind's song, Arav wandered into a small, open meadow. At the very center stood a glowing lamp. It was no ordinary lamp. Its golden flame shimmered like sweet, cherished memories. Arav gazed at it with wonder. He heard echoes of his childhood laughter, felt once again the warmth of his mother's embrace, and remembered the joy of playing with his friends. Each memory lightened his heart. Each glow lifted away his weariness. The moon spoke gently. "This is the lamp of memories. When a person recalls their happiest moments before sleep, their heart becomes still. This lamp dissolves dark thoughts and draws peaceful sleep closer." Arav sat beside the lamp and closed his eyes. Now he felt entirely safe, comforted, and at ease. As Arav moved beyond the lamp, he saw at the edge of the meadow giant white pillows resting on the ground. They looked as soft as cotton. Whenever the breeze passed by, the pillows swayed gently like drifting clouds. Arav lay his head on one of them. Instantly, his body loosened. The softness was so deep that every thought within him began to melt away. The moon whispered, "These are the pillows of rest. When someone lies down and imagines their head sinking into a soft pillow, the mind slowly grows lighter, and sleep comes on its own." Arav smiled softly. He hugged the pillow close, feeling as though he had already stepped onto the doorstep of dreams. Rising from the pillows, Arav noticed a staircase stretching toward the sky. It was glowing with golden light. Each step he took made him feel lighter than before. On the first step, all his fears disappeared. On the second, every trace of tiredness vanished. On the third, his mind became perfectly calm. Every step drew him closer to sleep, and as he climbed higher and higher, his eyelids grew heavier and heavier. The moon said gently, "These are the stairs of light, the path into the dream world. Anyone who climbs them slowly drifts into the deepest sleep." Arav kept moving upward, one step at a time, and with every step, he sank more deeply into the cradle of peaceful dreams. As Arav reached the top of the glowing stairs, he found himself standing on a great rooftop. A rooftop made entirely of moonlight. Gentle silver light stretched in every direction, so calm and soft it felt like a blanket for the eyes. Arav slowly sat down, letting the glow of the moonlight sink into him. Its tender touch brushed across his face. His breathing grew slower, deeper. His heart felt lighter, calmer. The moon whispered, "This is the roof of moonlight. When a weary soul closes its eyes, this light gently carries them into the arms of sleep." Arav felt every worry, every restless thought dissolve. Only peace remained, only comfort. Stepping down from the rooftop, Arav saw a vast bed of soft clouds spread out all around him. The clouds looked so inviting, like a quiet sea waiting to hold him. He lay down on the clouds' gentle sheet. At once, his whole body sank into its softness. The breeze brushed against him tenderly, like a mother's hand stroking her child's hair. The moon's voice floated down again. "This is the blanket of clouds. When someone rests upon it, their spirit grows quiet. Their thoughts melt away, and sleep arrives on its own." Arav closed his eyes. The cloud's embrace lifted him higher and higher, not into the sky, but into the deepest dream. And there, wrapped in softness, Arav drifted into peaceful, endless sleep. As Arav lay upon the blanket of clouds, he noticed a soft shower drifting down from the sky. But this was no ordinary rain. It was a gentle sprinkle of glowing dreams, falling like tiny shimmering lights. Each drop touched his eyes, his face, making his heart feel lighter and lighter. His breaths grew long and slow, his heartbeat calm and steady. The moon whispered, "This is the dream shower. Whoever feels it upon them, their mind becomes completely at peace, and sleep slowly gathers them into its arms." Arav closed his eyes. The glowing shower surrounded him, wrapping him in its gentle touch. And as he sank deeper into its glow, his sleep grew sweeter, deeper. After the dream shower, Arav noticed tiny pearls scattered before him. Each pearl carried its own soft glow, as though a magician had strung pieces of starlight and placed them upon the earth. Irv picked one up. At once, he felt a tender warmth flow through his hand. The pearls seemed to soak away his weariness, gently melting his tiredness into calm. The moon said, "These are the shining pearls. Whoever holds them feels peace within, and sleep drifts closer and closer. Each pearl carries the promise of a sweet dream." Irv smiled and scattered the pearls all around him. Their glow spread in every direction, making his soul feel light, safe, and comforted. After scattering the pearls, Irv came upon a river. But this was no ordinary river. It was the river of sleep. Its waters did not flow with heavy currents, but with a gentle stream of soft blue light. Irv dipped his feet into the river. At once, he felt a cool calmness spread through him. Every wave carried away the restlessness in his mind, leaving only stillness behind. The moon whispered, "This is the river of sleep. Whoever gazes upon it, or touches its gentle waters, their heart grows light, and sleep comes naturally, slowly, without effort. Sleep flows to them." Irv splashed the glowing water across his face. Every worry disappeared. All that remained was peace and the sweetness of rest. Across the river of sleep, Irv saw a breathtaking sight, a meeting place of countless stars and drifting dreams. The stars sparkled brightly, while the dreams danced softly around them, together creating a quiet, magical harmony. The moon said, "This is the union of stars and dreams. Whoever imagines this place, all the stirrings of their mind fall silent, and sleep gently settles over their eyes." Irv closed his eyes. He felt as though his very soul was floating within that starry, dream-filled sky. Little by little, his body loosened, and he sank into a sleep that was deep, calm, and wonderfully sweet.